Hey guys, welcome back to nationalhsfb.com. Joe, it feels like it's been an entire season since we've seen these folks, the last podcast with these prominent coaches that we've done all across the country in the 2022 season. And guys, it is my pleasure to welcome back, I guess, Coach Joseph, you seem like a regular by now on this podcast, but Joe and I wanted to have you back because you're no longer a first-year new head coach for the Miami Central Rockets down there. You are a state champion and a national champion. So welcome back to the program, Coach. And how's it feel to be labeled champion now?
It feels, the thing about Miami Central, man, is just rinse and repeat as far as the standard of the championship goes. So, it feels good going undefeated for the first time in school history. That's something sweet, as well as winning first national championship in school history. That's sweet as well. And lo and behold, man, 2 weeks after that, we're back on that grind again.
I got you. Joe's going to kick us off with our first question here. Joe, what you got?
Coach, how you doing, bud? Great to see you.
What's up, Joe?
The first coach ever in the history of our program to be interviewed 3 times. Way to go. And you deserve every time. Remember the last time we spoke, you were coming off your great win at IMG, which helped you get catapulted to the top of the ratings at the end of the year, top of the rankings. So Great to have you. Tell me what's changed. What's changed in your life since that poll came out on December 18th, 19th, whatever it was? Tell me, has anything changed, or is it business as usual at Rocket Nation?
Joe, is this the poll that you're talking about?
Yeah, look it out. Check that out. The final poll. We unveiled it a day earlier on 12/18/22. Beautiful trophy. I flew down there and we had a nice assembly, and we handed it over to Coach. So, like I said that day, hopefully this is the first of many trips we make down there to give him that beautiful #1 trophy.
All right. To add on, how much has really changed as far as just the excitement? We knew what the trajectory of the season. And a lot of things had to happen for us to become #1. But one thing that we could control was just our schedule and us, winning out. And I think that this winning the national championship was great for the program, for the school. I think you can feel the energy when you walk into Rocket Country and see everybody, the elation, because it's been a long time coming.
And Coach, I said when we were down in Miami for the presentation of the trophy, you've basically laid out the formula on how to win a national championship. Basically, it's playing the best teams you could play, preferably on the road, because those wins mean more, and then winning your state.
Yeah.
So you beat IMG, which is basically the most feared team in America. I do the scheduling for them, so I could tell you how hard they are to schedule. You said we went out to dinner. Remember last summer we went out to dinner, and around the table I said, "Hey, Coach, just so you know, no pressure, but IMG is looking for somebody to play Labor Day weekend." And you guys spoke, set up the game, and the rest is history. And again, without that win, who knows what would have happened.
That's
You had Duncanville undefeated at the end of the season. You had the 2 Cali teams, Bosco with 1 loss. That IMG win put you over the edge because, #1, you beat them at their place. And #2, the other teams that were vying for #1, they're not even allowed to play IMG. They're not permitted to. So, it was a no-brainer, basically, for many of us. So, let's talk about what happened. Say the week after you win the national championship. I've spoken to coaches over the years who won national championships, and their phone starts blowing up. You already are the team down in Miami-Dade County. Everyone wants to play for you. Has winning the national championship and having your second 4-peat ever? Larry, they had a 4-peat. This is the second time they've done it.
4 state championships in a row.
Yeah. Are you a ballers from all over Dade County wanting to come to Miami Central more than ever now?
Yeah. That's the thing, man. It's been ongoing since the end of the season as far as just people just showing intrigue and wanting to come to the program. I mean, that's what happens with winning. People, it's infectious. People want to be a part of that winning culture. Want to be a part of that championship standard. We unofficially changed the street name from 95th Street to Natty Fifth Street.
Is that
That's
right?
great. That's great.
Coach,
That's
Coach,
great.
I'm going to show you something on the screen. It is, NBC News. When Joe went down there to Miami to present you the national championship trophy, NBC News covered it. So I'm going to play that video clip that they had on their broadcast, and then just get your thoughts on it. Okay, hold on one second.
Miami Central High School continuing their state championship streak. What a team. The football team winning 4 in a row, now getting a very special honor. And Local 10's Ian Margle is live at the school in Miami with all the excitement. They have a lot to be proud of, Ian.
Oh, a lot to be proud of. This is actually the second time in the school's history that they've had a four-peat. They've won 4 state championships in a row. And today, one site said not only were they the state champions, they were the national champions. A celebration at Miami Central Senior High Wednesday, honoring the school's football team as they were recognized as national champions by nationalhighschoolfootball.com.
Nobody has the #1 trophy. You have the first one ever created by nationalhighschoolfootball.com, and for sure it will not be the last.
The Rockets put up a perfect 14-0 record this season, taking down powerhouses like IMG Academy and American Heritage, and topping their rival Miami Northwestern twice, giving them their 4th state championship in a row.
That's the second 4P in school history, so to be a part of history is an amazing feeling. It keeps our name alive forever.
It feels great. I love this program. With everything, we got kids in the neighborhood that look up to us. We got to be great role models for the guys, and it's a place that they can call home.
The 4P is even more impressive because it came in Jube Joseph's first year as head coach after taking over for legendary coach Roland Smith when he moved on to the University of Miami.
At the end of the day, anything's possible. And these kids showed, that if they put their minds to things that they wanted to, they'll be able to play and dominate and be successful on the field.
Coach, let me get your thoughts on that. What was running through your mind when Joe was presenting you with the trophy down there? And has your life changed, or not your life has changed? Has the program changed it any, or is it just business as usual?
My thoughts really were more so to like some of my assistant coaches who've been a part of this program for over 14 years, who've actually been a part of both 4-peats. I've got 2 staff members, Michael Ross and Alexander Snipes, who were assistant coaches on the Northwestern team in 2007, who basically they weren't allowed to coach that team to their first national championship, so they were kind of robbed of that moment, and just being happy for them, being that they were allowed to, win a national championship. We said that before the game, and that week, we really wanted to do it for them because you never know when you can actually get another shot at it, and they had to wait 20 years for the opportunity, and I felt like that was great for them. I also felt like this is an awesome moment for the community, because at the end of the day, we've always set our standard for state championships. But like one of my biggest goals coming into the job, I said, I want to enhance the brand and not only compete nationally, but win nationally and keep pushing the Rocket brand as a standard, as a pillar in America when it comes to national football games and competing and contending for a national title.
You're on mute, Joe.
Coach, on National Signing Day, didn't you have nine ballers signed, right?
Yeah, we had 9 signed early.
Okay, so tell us. Obviously, they're going off to play at the next level. What can we expect out of your team next year? Do you know yet, or is it progressing?
Oh man, I'll be honest with you. It's gonna be rinse and repeat, man. We don't rebuild, we reload. If anything, if you thought we were good this year, I know we're gonna be better next year. Defensively, man, we were pretty young this year. A lot of people don't know that. We had We lost roughly 3 starters as seniors. Everybody else were ninth and 10th graders on that defense. Our whole offensive line comes back. A large majority of our receiving core comes back. So we're gonna be pretty good next year. We just got to keep developing the kids, but my biggest thing is that they've been there. It's a standard that they don't get wide-eyed in big games. They don't get wide-eyed in adverse situations because they've been there, and they can take what they learned this year and just bring it over to next year because they see that it's tried and proven. And just look for an even more exciting version of the Rockets coming next year.
Coach, you said back in when you first appeared on this program back in, I wrote it down, March 12th of last year. It's almost been a year. Can you believe that, Joe? It's almost been a year.
Yeah, we launched the site around February 14th, right?
Yeah, Coach. And in that interview, you said that you wanted to, quote, enhance the brand and take it to new heights.
Right.
Is this what you had in mind, or can your program go even higher?
Yeah, this is what I have in mind, and of course, man, the sky's the limit for Miami Central when it comes to the football world. And this is just last year was a step in the right direction, and us planting our flag nationally and just continuing to grow. I mean, because you're either getting better, or you're getting worse. And we at Miami Central, we work on getting better every single day. So just know that you won't hear the last of us on a national scale, winning on a national scale.
And Coach, have we just spoke about how the formula for winning a national championship is not only winning your state, but beating the best possible teams you can, high profile elites. You have anybody in mind for next year? I can tell you right now, I got Mater Dei looking for games. I got IMG looking for games. I got Bishop Gorman looking for games. St. John Bosco. Any ideas on where you want to go, where you want to travel, or will you take all comers at this point?
Yeah, that's the thing about it. Because literally, I just got back from the coaching convention in Charlotte yesterday. We haven't had the benefit of meeting as a staff recently because once we won, then we went on Christmas break, and we just got back from Christmas break on Monday, and I haven't seen my staff or the kids yet because I just flew in last night. But we have some guys in mind. We'd love a rematch with Bosco. Bishop Gorman, anybody that's really in that fact. But we're willing to converse and see who wants what. One thing about us, man, we don't shy away from anything or anyone nationally. And travel wise, kind of like looking to take if we do travel this year. My biggest thing is when you're a head coach at an inner city high school, public school, a lot of your kids haven't been outside the city limits. You know what I'm saying? So if we do travel, I may want to take them somewhere that we haven't been before. But if any takers, because I'm aware that everybody likes to talk, but any takers want to come to Miami, Florida, and come see the Rockets on their home turf, trust me, the gate's wide open.
Yeah, Coach, I've already spoken with all the top teams from California and Texas, so we're working on it from our end. So sit tight. We're going to put you in the same situation that you were put in last year and see what you could do.
Okay. Man, that's fantastic news, Coach.
And I know Larry would love, maybe not next year, but maybe in 2 years, to go to Lowndes, Georgia. Remember, he challenged you the last time we were on here.
Yeah.
So
would love it. Coach, that'd be something to see you up here in Lowndes County.
Hey, man, whenever there's space, if there's grass on the field, man, we're there.
I hear you. Hey, listen, I'm going to ask you something about one of your players said after that win over American Heritage. American Heritage tried to make a comeback, right? And one of your players after the game was quoted in a SB Live article. He said that this was Ruben Bain. You're very familiar with Ruben. He says, my coach always said it's not if adversity, it's when, and we just overcame it. It's the standard here. I like the feeling of winning. When you hear a player quote you, when it comes to overcoming adversity and expecting it. And because he expected, he was better prepared to overcome it. How does that make you feel as a coach?
Well, I didn't even know he did that. I didn't even know he said that. It just means that you're doing something right. You know, your constant messages, your constant harping, something's starting to seep in eventually. And that's all you can hope for as a coach, all you can hope for as a mentor, all you can hope for as a person that has, I guess, that can affect young people's lives. You can hope that they take that with them. I mean, and I say that all the time, but hopefully as he gets older, he realizes that I didn't just mean it in the football game. I mean in life too. So, everybody's at their best when they're winning, but who are you when you're down? That really reveals character, and that's really what I want to do is raise high character, quality kids to be functional adults in society. Winning is a byproduct of impact. And, that kid, quoting me, man, with that saying, that just shows me that the impact that my coaching staff and myself and my administration and everybody in the community is working on the kids.
Hey, Coach, going forward, throw some names out there off the top of your head. As the season progresses, end of August next year, what names are we going to be hearing out of your camp? Some 24s and 25s.
Okay, 24s. You got Luke Moyes. He's our right. I don't know. A tackle. Tico Schultz, a tackle. William Rothmiller, our guard. Albert Jones, our guard. Notice I'm saying these offensive linemen. These guys are 3-year starters. They were national champions in Little League, and they became national champions in high school. Anwan Coleman, he's a 25. Another 24 that we have is Lewayne McCoy. He caught the game-winning interception against IMG. Another 24 we have is Earl Culp, Lamar Smith, a linebacker, Ezekiel Marsland, and Amari Wallace, class of 25. They just made Max Prep sophomore All-American first team. It's just loaded all across the board. Randy Adarica, looking for him to step in, and he's a 6'4", 250, 25 kid. Looking for him to step in and make some strides. Javari Flowers. We got a lot of guys, 24, 25, and 26, that are, going to be able to make names for themselves. Like I said, defensively, we were young, but they never shied away from the opportunity and the moment, as you can see by us playing so many big games. Technically these guys are supposed to be playing JV, but I just happened to be their head coach, and I just threw them against the number 4 team in the country and said, "Hey, do with it as you may."
Yeah,
Joe, you just asked for key contributors. The man just named his entire roster. That's pretty impressive,
Coach. I wanted to ask you about, one of my favorites on Twitter, who I follow in the world of high school football, is Frank Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
I love that guy, Larry. This guy is like, when it comes to the South Florida high school transfer portal, this guy's like on everything. The minute something happens, he reports it. And he reported, when was this? Right after Christmas, like December 26th, that Central got a transfer quarterback from Killian named Antonio Smith. Mm-hmm. Tell us about him, Coach.
He's a good kid. Coming in from Killian, he's a hard worker. I think that he's gonna come in and compete. I think that he's been playing varsity. He's been playing football at a high level for quite some time. His name is known amongst the parks and as one of the top guys that came out his year. And I look for him to come in and conform to the system and just be the best version of himself that he can be. A real cerebral kid, good inside the pocket, good with the ball, and just so far so good, man. Came in and worked hard.
And I've been reading a lot of great press clippings also about the transfer from Pace, Michael Smith, too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Listen, a lot of these guys, man, they know when they coming in, they know that, as long as you work hard and you do what you're supposed to do within the actual system, within the actual program, you'll be okay. I got this mantra I always tell them, Miami Central is not built for superstars. But if you play within the system and you listen to what the coaches tell you to do, then you'll become a superstar.
Coach, going 14-0 is very, very impressive. Looking over your schedule, you had a couple of games that were kind of close, but it's every team that I've ever seen that win a state championship, national championship, go undefeated. You're always faced with at least one or two challenges that maybe you didn't expect throughout the year. What was your biggest challenge that you and your team had to overcome in the 22 season?
I would say it was the challenge of the Northwestern game. That was one of the games where we were down 21-7 in the first quarter. But the kids stuck with it. I mean, this is what you prepare them for. You don't prepare them for games where you're up 35-0. You really challenge them and put them in opportune situations for these type of moments. And down 21-7 in a playoff game, packed house, they didn't flinch, they didn't fold. They showed true character. And that was one of the prouder moments that I had of my team, and not just my team, but just the program in general, coaches included, because that's a nerve-wracking situation for most, but not for us, because we prepare to be here in these situations, and they followed the plan as how it's supposed to be, and they came back and we won 34-30. That was one of those times where, because, in the season, long season, you're going to have games like that. Some like the Miami Northwestern, Miami Central rivalry game. That the records go out the window.
Yep.
That's a good old, we don't like you, you don't like us, and this is going to go down how I go down. And you got to put that up there with the Michigan and Ohio States.
Yep.
And Florida State Miamis and the Iron Bowls and the Lowndes versus Valdosta. Like those are the ones.
You had to throw that in there,
Joe. I didn't say it, man. I didn't say it.
I had to throw that in there. And I looked at him. I wanted to see his expression, and he was stone cold.
That's right. Hey, Coach, we spoke the first time we met back in March about Florida and the different classifications, all the changes that were made, the metro and the suburban thing. Any updates on that? Is it remaining the same? What's going on?
From what I know, it's remaining the same. I did hear something about they're looking at a different policy or something, and I mean, for me, man, I let the ones who get paid the big bucks take care of that. We'll line up and play who we play. They say, hey, Jube, you got 2 on the Dolphins. Let's go. So.
Yeah, well, those changes made for an excellent game when you played American Heritage. The world was watching that night.
Yeah. Great atmosphere. Great for Florida high school football. Great for South Florida high school football as well.
Coach, listen, on a lighter note, I do have to ask you, since I'm a huge Georgia Bulldog fan, and Georgia just got through doing something special, back-to-back national championship. Big tight end Darnell Washington announced that he's going to the NFL today. Do you have any tight ends that you can send up to Georgia? Because they do something with tight ends up there.
Man, I wish. I got some D ends that might can play tight end.
We need some D ends too.
Man, tight ends are pretty. Those type of body types are kind of few and far in between down here in South Florida. We're like a 10 personnel city around here.
Gotcha.
Hey, Coach, we always talk about Dade County and your area, specifically in Traz Powell, the mecca of football in your area. I really want to do, how we're doing an event up in Broward. We have 7 games over 3 days. You and I really have to start something in Dade. I'd love to bring some of these highly ranked, nationally known teams from all around America into Traz to play Northwestern, Booker T. How do we get that done, man? Let's do it sooner than later.
You got to get them to come. I don't know why nobody wants to come to sunny South Florida. We got nice beaches, Our nightlife's second to none. Come on down here and go get some of this Miami, South Florida football. Trust me, you won't regret it, or maybe you will.
I love it. Now that was spoken like a true national champ right there.
That's right.
Coach, we were talking about Georgia. Kirby Smart likes to say either you're elite or you're not. Going through your first season with your program down there, winning the state title, winning the national, do you get the feeling that you've got a program full of elite athletes, or are they just good athletes that are great overachievers, or what's the makeup? What's the secret sauce to the Miami Central Rockets down there?
I think, to be honest with you, be it an elite athlete or overachievers, I need elite effort.
Whew, that's a good one.
I need elite effort. It doesn't take any type of talent or God-given ability to try. If you have elite effort, if you have elite belief in the system, elite belief in me, top tier, every step that you take is towards greatness, and you know that, then win is inevitable. It's not like I'm asking you to do something that you can't physically do. When you were born, you're able to try. From the day you were born, you try to open your eyes. You try to get some milk from your mom. When you're a kid, you're something that you're always trying at. If it's that important to you, you're gonna try. So when we speak on elite, the only thing I expect out of my kids is an elite effort in anything we do.
You sound, when you say that, Coach, you sound a lot like Hall of Fame high school coach. Guys, just as soon as I say his name, you're going to recognize it. Bob Ladouceur, head coach, De La Salle.
De La Salle.
So he used to say all the time where he doesn't expect perfect outcomes, but he expects perfect effort. You sound just like him when you say stuff like that. Elite effort. I love it.
Yeah. And, that's the thing is we got to continue to teach kids that trying is just as important as doing.
Joe, what else you got?
Coach, I wanted to ask you, after being crowned national champ, do you have any feel-good stories? Did anybody call you, like a Dalvin Cook or Willis McGahee or Devontae Freeman? And did anybody come back and say, hey, we're proud of you and give you kudos?
Oh, of course. The thing is, for us, we always like this. It's a family thing, so they've been a part of the process as we went along. Going, Dalvin and James have even been on the sideline, and thing about Central is it's so intense that they even ran into timeout huddles. You know what I'm saying? Making sure, because to be honest with you, my offensive coordinator, he was actually Dalvin Cook's offensive coordinator. And he was James Cook's offensive coordinator.
Wow.
So the plays that we're running are the same exact plays that they ran when they were in high school. Mm-hmm. So, they have this, affinity towards us. Willis McGahee, he was on the sideline for the Northwestern game, and we chop it up. I got a chance to talk to Telly Lockett at the coaching convention. He orchestrated the championship runs in the beginning at Miami Central, and we just following the path that he laid down. And, he left me with some words of wisdom where he was just, telling me, hey, man, do it your way, and encouraging words, somebody I look up to in this profession, and walking in the footsteps that he laid out for me.
Coach, what is now that you've had a chance to reflect on the season a little bit, you're probably getting bored, you're probably getting amped up, getting back to the grind. It's officially the off season, but your season, spring ball, is just right around the corner. So how does Jube Joseph and the Miami Central Rockets handle the off season now?
What off season, Larry? No off season. It's no off season, Larry. It's rinse and repeat. They know what they sign up for. They got one more week. That is, it's go time.
It's go time.
It's go time.
So what does that look like? What does that look like? Go time. What does that look like for Miami Central?
Win the championship in December. Take 2 weeks off, spend with your family. The week after Martin Luther King, we power back up, and we go. It's nonstop. Gotcha. But you gotta love it. If you don't love it, you can't play at Central if you like it. And that's not my rule. That's just what it's gonna be. If you like football, you can't play here. it's gonna show. You got to really love it. You got to really be invested in it. This isn't for the casual football player. I always say that. If you want to play football for fun, you go to the YMCA. Okay. we play football for purpose here.
Love it.
That's great. That's what we say about our site, Larry, right?
Absolutely, man.
We're not, our site is not for casual fans. Our site, nationalhighschoolfootball.com, is for the aficionados of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, I've got one more question left for Coach Joseph, if you allow me. Coach, I think it's like a fraternity for coaches, prominent head coaches all across the country that appears on this program throughout the year. One of your counterparts, Lipscomb Academy, you know the name, Trent Dilfer. He prominent head coach, took over the high school team. Now he's going to the college ranks, taking over a UAB program. Now that you're a state champion and national champion, it's not going to be long, if it's not hadn't happened already, where some other programs, maybe college programs, maybe. And what's next for Jube Joseph? Are you looking to build a dynasty there in Miami Central, or are you looking to go to the college ranks? What's next for Coach Joseph?
What's next for Coach Joseph? Tuesday, I have a team meeting. We're gonna fit it for our state championship. Excuse me, national championship rings. And we have a team meeting, and we're gonna plan on what we're gonna be doing for the spring, and then getting ready for another run. That's what's next for Coach Joseph.
Okay. So you're saying that the Florida Gators, Miami Hurricanes, Florida State Seminoles, they haven't called Jube Joseph yet?
Not that I know of. Got a great relationship with those guys. Kudos to those guys. But as of now, man,
Hey, Larry, when I was with Coach, I made sure he saw my Florida State championship ring.
Yes, sir.
Listen, Florida State's making a heck of a comeback. I expect big things from the Seminoles next year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Coach, this was great. Thanks as always for your time. I had a wonderful time with you down in Miami when we did the trophy presentation. And like I said, you have the formula for winning a national championship.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah,
like it's still surreal, because I know how bad this community wanted the national championship. I applaud you guys for not having the sheep mentality like some other polls have. Just more so letting it be done on the field. I told my kids this. I said, listen, at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong. And, we're not going to allow publications or platforms to continuously move the goalposts and tell us to keep shooting. I appreciate you guys for standing on what you believe in and standing on your criteria and making sure that the best team in the nation wins the national championship. And for that, we're grateful.
Anytime, Coach. But listen, you guys are the one that earned it. So all the congrats goes to the Rockets down there. We truly mean it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next recording.
All right.
Thanks, guys.